this zoning, and here is a closer look at the parcel. And the proposal for this property is a 6-unit townhome development on the corner here. That's not been approved by Planning Commission yet, but that is what the property owner is proposing at this location. And I think I have a couple of pictures of the existing site at that location. And this concludes staff's report.
Question.
Councilman.
Is it a 2-story townhomes or 1-story?
We don't know that yet. We haven't seen the design for them, but I'm going to make the assumption that it's 2-story.
That's what I was
Yes.
thinking. Okay. Thanks.
But that's strictly an assumption. Yes.
Understood. That was my assumption as well.
Yes.
Jerry, in that previous picture, is that a new landmark, the leaning water tower?
Yeah. I think that's a Google Street View that we stole that got a little skewed there.
Tourism destination.
That's right. They might not want to build too close to
Is there
that.
any other questions? Any other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? The ayes have it. Right, next we will have resolution number 2025. The bottom we will have 2025 37 is the first reading, and it is an ordinance to amend sections 2.7, 2-8, 1-2.7, 2-B, 1-2.8.2, 1-2.10-1-B, and 7-25.2 of the Unified Development Ordinance regarding accessory dwelling units.
So moved. Second.
Jerry?
Okay, thank you. So just for clarity purposes, accessory dwelling units can be either attached units or detached units, and they're associated typically with single-family detached housing, and they provide either an additional living unit on that property. It's become quite common around the country, for this to occur. If you go to some of our older neighborhoods in town that surround our downtown, you'll often find the, maybe an apartment above a garage or a detached home that exists behind the existing home that are accessory dwelling units. And some of those are existing nonconformities or, as people like to say, grandfathered in and are being used. Others fell out of use and are no longer able to be used based on our current zoning code. This has been kind of talked about in the past a fair amount, and it kind of came to a point where a lot of folks were asking for the city to take a closer look at this. So we did, and we've taken it to Planning Commission, and I'll present to you what their recommendations are. So currently we allow attached accessory dwelling units, and this is part of our code. That's all in the ordinance that's in your packet, and all of this is going to be taken out of the ordinance, but it gets combined with our new regulations. So the attached or integrated accessory dwelling unit we've always allowed since the adoption of the Unified Development Code in 2018, but we're now proposing to allow attached and detached accessory dwelling units. So the current proposal that's coming before you is to change the use tables to allow accessory dwelling units in basically all of our residential zoning districts, as well as in our commercial reuse district, which is kind of that area like along Evans Street or Palmetto Street, where you've got that light commercial transition where a lot of older homes are transitioning into businesses, and allow it as a conditional use. So it would not be permitted by right. You would have certain conditions to be met, and I'm going to briefly go over those. So it would allow the two types, as I described before, the attached and detached accessory dwelling unit. And that would be a separate living space, meaning it would have to have a separate entrance and separate living quarters to include kitchens, bathrooms, and living quarters for this detached unit. And we have a list of all these conditions, and I'm gonna kind of briefly go through them just so you understand them. We have in the first one there, the ADU counts towards the total number of accessory structures on a site. So the typical single-family home can have 2 accessory structures on their lot, and this would count as one of them. Sections or points 2 through 5 there essentially say that it has to meet all other permitting requirements within the city. It has to have a building permit. They have to sign up for the rental registry. They have to get a business license, just as any rental structures in the city would. Number 6 establishes it, and this is one of the things that makes this kind of a conservative approach to accessory dwelling units. But it says that it has to be the primary residence of the individual renting the structure, meaning they have to be the owner of record, meaning that, either in the accessory dwelling unit, the smaller unit, or in the principal structure, the property owner has to have that as their primary residence, meaning that's their legal voting site, that's their, where their driver's license is registered, and it's registered as a 4% property on the tax roll. So that kind of is a protection that's put in place to make this a kind of a conservative approach. Also, 1 ADU per site, no more than 1 per site, in addition to the single-family detached structure. If it's detached, it has to be at least 10 feet from the primary residence. They have to have their utilities and address. They can have no more than, so their utilities need to be combined with the primary residence, as well as the same address of the principal dwelling. And that's to kind of so that primary resident or that owner keeps control of that property. And it's not a lot of taps and utilities going into that or that site.
Okay.
Also, the size of the structure, if it's detached, it's limited to 50% of the footprint, or 800 square feet, whichever's less. And if it's attached, then it's 30% or 35% of the floor area up to 800 square feet. And it shall not cover more than 30% of the established rear yard, and it shall be no taller than the principal building. Also, it has to abide by the setbacks within the district, and it can't be closer to the side property line than the built structure is, meaning it can't be offset. And parking, you have to have 1 additional parking space in addition to what's required for the site. It cannot be used as a short-term rental or an Airbnb. And it also cannot be used solely for a home occupation. And a home occupation is when you run a business out of your home. Like a lot of folks have maybe an office or something of that nature in their home, but it can't be built and used solely for that purpose. And I think that concludes that. And we've also added a definition, which I've already defined the structure in the definitions section. And this concludes staff's report.
Okay, Councilman McCall and then Councilman Bailey.
I think Brady had a question.
Braddock had a question.
Well, I just wanted to say I'm glad to see this because there was a huge unintended consequence when we had the UDO to take these homes, these accessory dwellings out of play, which for college students and newly employed, it really limited the inventory, and also for the family or the person that was subsidizing their rent. A lot of seniors in that area as well, and so I'm glad to see that we're making a way for these units to be available for those that are coming here, looking for a start and something affordable, and also for those who have been here a while looking to offset their retirement or living expenses as they get older.
Okay, Councilman Jabeur.
Well,
And then-
when you mentioned that the city had been receiving inquiries about this, I'm just curious as to what other cities in South Carolina, are we the exception at this point, or the, kind of where are the other communities at?
We are the exception overall. Most municipalities have something in place similar to this, and as we often do when writing code, we take a lot of suggestion from other municipalities, and that's in this case as well. Some from our internal code that we had already written for our attached, but we also looked at other municipalities around the state to see what they were doing. Yes.
And this just simply kind of updates Florence to where we're similar to what other communities in South Carolina are doing.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. So number 17 says the ADU shall provide one improved parking space in addition to the required parking for the principal structure. So if the dwelling is in the rear, they're required to put a parking space in the rear of the home as well, or?
It could be anywhere on site. They're required to have two for each single-family residence, and a driveway is a parking space. I mean, that's not, just so they have enough physical room to park two vehicles. That's good. And in this case, they would have to provide one additional more, so three would have to be provided, and that could be an enlargement of the driveway off to the side, or if a driveway was accessible to the rear, then it could be added in the rear potentially.
Councilwoman Smith.
So I just wanted to clarify that this is not about people adding on additional space, additional living space, but this is just if they want to add additional, what would be the difference? 'Cause I know some people add on rooms to their properties, so
Yeah.
this is not including that, right?
They could very well add additional rooms to their home to do this. They could either, under this code, they could either add an attached addition to their home, but it would be separate, through a wall. Or they could detach it and add a detached separate dwelling unit on the home. But this does not include if you wanted to add on an additional master suite or anything
Right.
like that. That's all part of the principal use.
Right.
This does not regulate that at all.
And I wanted to kind of clarify that because people will think that all they see is adding on. So want to clarify and make sure everybody understands this is just because with this one it got to have a separate doorway. It has to have a kitchen
That's right.
and all of that. So
It's
kind
in
of
a
like
restaurant.
could be a tiny home.
It could be, yes. The maximum it could be is 800 square feet, so it would essentially be like an apartment.
Gotcha.
Yes.
800 square feet. Okay. Thank you, too.
And this is like a pool house too, right?
A pool house, yes.
Attached pool house.
A pool house or a mother-in-law suite, things
So
of
to
that
get a
nature.
pool house, you're also required to get a parking lot. An actual
Not a parking
space.
lot.
No,
Not a
Not
parking
parking
lot.
space.
Not necessarily. We've been permitting pool houses for some time now, and that's separate, yes.
I was making sure.
But often people will try to convert their pool house into an accessory dwelling unit. And in order to do that, they would need to come get a permit under these conditions, yes.
Any other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposes? The ayes have it. Next, we will have introduction to resolution. Resolution number 2025-25, a resolution committing the city of Florence to providing a local match for the Municipal Association of South Carolina Big Idea Grant, and the following is procurement policies when securing services and products with grant funds.
Second.
You,
Thank you,
Clint,
thank you, Mayor.
Clint, I'm trying to get it out, Clint.
Members of council, this is, we are submitting an application for what is now called the Impact Grant through the Municipal Association. This is a new grant that they are providing. There are two separate grants that fall under this. The first one being, I'm trying to remember what they call it. It's a lower grant for $25,000, and then they have a larger grant which is called the Big Idea Grant, and that is for $100,000. And right now we are, as part of that submittal, the City Council must adopt this resolution, essentially stating that we are committing those matching funds along with staff time and following proper procurement and everything involved in that.
Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. This next item will be taken up in executive session. Resolution number 2025-26. It's a resolution of City Council approving downtown redevelopment grants for the first quarter FY26. Okay, we will move that to executive session. Now we will have city managers' reports.
Yes. I didn't say that.
So let me just say this, because I didn't say it, I just skipped it. Appointments and boards of commission also goes to executive session. Thank you so much, Councilman Trevella.
That is correct. Madam Mayor, if you would, I'd like to ask Chief Alan Heidler to come forward, please.
Yes.
I didn't. Mayor, it's bittersweet to announce that our Chief Alan Heidler, 42 years of dedicated service with the City of Florence, has decided to retire.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I can't clap for you, buddy.
Chief Heidler, that's for your service, not for your retirement.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to stand up, but I'm like,
I didn't want to clap for that.
Yes.
Definitely the service, definitely the service.
We're certainly proud of all the great things Alan has done, and we'll tell you all about those and all his accomplishments and how he's made Florence a better, safer place over the 42 years that he's worked with the City of Florence. He'll be retiring in October, so at an October meeting, we will certainly come back and give him a formal retirement farewell. But between now and then, to his dismay, we will be celebrating him. We've already spoken with his wife, his staff. We have announced, will be announcing rather, interim chief. Starling will be, Stephen Starling, Captain Starling will be interim chief. We will be doing a formal search. It'll be a nationwide search there. But in the interim, Chief Heidler has been and will be working with Captain Starling to man the ship. We certainly thank the chief. We can't replace him. We will bring in someone else, but we certainly know that there's nobody like Chief Heidler there. But he has given us 42 years of dedicated, faithful service to this community. He's been an integral part of not only the police department, but the entire city of Florence. I can't say enough great things about him, but we'll try in October. Chief.
thank you so much.
Mayor, member of council, the one thing I asked the city manager was please, no recognitions. So you see where I'm standing. It's like talking to my wife, actually. When I told her, please, no recognition, she said, you don't understand. This isn't about you. Yes. Okay, well, then who's, anyway. No, this has been a wonderful career. I left the farm to go into the Army, into the military police corps, came out of that right to Florence Police Department. I went to college, Coker College, while I was here. I progressed through the ranks from the very bottom to chief of police, and the city has been nothing but a super place to work. certainly I've seen the good, the very good in this position, and the bad and the very ugly. And I can tell you that the men and women of the Florence Police Department are some of the most dedicated folks that you will find in law enforcement today. And I appreciate everything that they have done, and I have not gotten where I am without riding the backs of some folks, listening to people, especially my staff, and their ideas and how we get things done. And as the city manager said, there'll probably be some more things to come, but I appreciate the city. I'm going to look forward to sitting back and watching all the great things that you all accomplish and being one of your loudest support mechanisms and cheers. So thank you all.
I mean, who wants to continue a meeting after that? Yeah, but thank you so much, Chief Hodler. When I came on as mayor, you being that one of the main things I tackled was crime, you became my biggest hero because you immediately jumped in and put things into action. So I can't thank you enough, and you know how I love your wife. Yeah, but we'll do that in October. I know, we'll do that in October. So, but thank you so much. Now we will have mayor's report. One of the things that we did, wanted to talk about urban development on Pine Street Townhome. We had our ribbon cutting, and you all, that place is, I mean, it is just prime downtown. It brings that feel that we are looking for our downtown area. The place, the design is just fabulous. I would recommend you all go out and see this new project. It is going to bring so much to our downtown area and as well as our communities. So kudos to Jesse for his great work in this project, and that it's in Councilman Smith district, and we had a wonderful ribbon cutting. It was just awesome for that. Also, we had the fireworks show, and you know the fireworks show, we had such a huge turnout, and it rained, and the Florence citizens said, no, we want it. We're going to come back after the rain. We're going to wait till the rain passes. It thundered and lightning. They said, no, we're going to wait until the thunder and lightning. So we got through that. Then we had, last weekend, we had the sounds of the PD. And I'm telling you, it was something great at Timrod Park. And guess what happened? It rained again, but guess what? The community was there in the rain. So it tells us how much our community wants us to come out, and they want us to bring community back. And can I tell you, community is coming back. And so I'm going to let Councilman McCray say something, because he was the first one to call me to say, hey, I'm loving this. So,
no, Mayor, I thought it was a awesome event. I think it was obviously great turnout for it being the first one. George, you and I spoke for a while over there. I think it would be great for us to, especially with all that we have invested downtown, to continue it, to hopefully make it a monthly event again, and to work with local artists. Hopefully we can help them out. And again, I think it's a event that we could sell sponsorships, that we could work with local business to kind of self-fund as well. So again, and Victoria did a great job with handling it. So again, thank you. And I would love to see if we could financially keep it going monthly. Again, we've put in a lot into Timrod Park, a lot into downtown, and again, I think that that's a great opportunity to work with the community and to keep going. And you know, I hate to hear this about Chief Heidler, but again, I think it's a way to work with even potentially getting our police force out there and working with the community and helping on that community outreach as well. Again, I thought it was an awesome event. Would love to do anything possible to keep that going.
Thank you so much. Now, I know that Victoria cringed when you said once a month, and Scotty jumped for joy when you said get funding. Yeah, so, but we are excited about what we are doing in our communities. We are rebuilding our communities. And as mayor, I am going to work diligently with partnering with community members to make that happen. And we're going to do everything that we can to make it happen in our communities. Next, we will have Business Development Committee.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I'll just echo what Councilman McKay said. I came a little bit after you left, and I got there. There was the rain in between, but it was a fabulous event. Painted Man was great, of course, as a performer there, and the food trucks. Of course, I'm always attracted to the food. So, and Victoria had the kids area all set up, and I heard there was a great turnout for that. So kudos to everybody that was involved in that. The Business Development Committee met on July the 24th, and we had a update from David Tuttle with the Urban Square project. We received information about loan documents, our anticipated closing date very soon. We are excited about that. Can't wait to get confirmation of the closing. The general contractor is scheduled to start in September, so next month. We're very excited about that. So there's been a lot of progress made, but those are the two critical pieces that we are looking forward to actually having gotten accomplished. The current design is for 102 apartment units within 4 stories. It's a 14 to 15 month construction schedule, anticipated and hopefully will be completed by December of 26. We also had a update from Holly Beaumier with the Florence Visitors and Convention Bureau about a feasibility study for a Florence, connecting the Florence rail trail to the Swamp Fox Trail extension that would potentially take our trail system all the way to Sumter, which would be very exciting. It's a feasibility study at this point. It's a concept at this point. And so the feasibility study began in August of 23 with a $50,000 donation from an anonymous donor. And the city of Sumter has allocated $250,000 to complete the master plan. And so no funding is being asked of the city right now, but we're receiving information and we're looking to see how we can connect it to the soccer complex where the rail trail currently to the west extends all the way to the soccer complex. So looking to see how it can be extended from there to Timmonsville, Maysville, Lynchburg, Sumter in that direction. And when we think, in the conversation took place saying how exciting it could be for Timmonsville to see what a revival it can be, associating it with Honda and the plant and workers there. So there's a lot of economic potential for economic development along the rail trail. So we're anxiously looking forward to additional information on that. And I believe that was basically all of it. I'm getting the thumbs up from Mr. Hemingway, so thank you for that. Anything further from other council members who were there? Councilman McKay, Mayor? All right, that concludes the report from the Business Development Committee.
Thank you so much. Next, we will have Community Development Committee. This committee is myself, Chipper Smith, Councilman Smith, and Councilman McComb. We are working diligently to partnering with our community members. As you know, we called for a meeting for community members and the churches, pastors from everywhere to come to sit down and talk with us, because we are trying to develop our communities. So the city of Florence has property and willing to purchase property and convey it to developers, those who will build homes on these properties and put attainable or affordable housing there. This is a plan that we've been working on now for some time. And so in our purchasing of property, we are giving these properties over to those who will invest in our communities, will help us to grow our community. One of the things, and it's in our blighted area, why is that important? Because most of our infrastructure is there from the beginning. So instead of the urban sprawl where there's so much development going out and we have to expand infrastructure, we need to build up inside our communities where the infrastructure is. So us partnering with the different entities, with the different community members and local churches to build up the inner city is a plan that we've been working diligently at, and that's one of the reasons the Isla Jones piece of property came into play. It really didn't come into play now. It came into play, I think, about back in 2022, when the Community Development Committee was talking about purchasing this property for another reason. Because we were looking at doing some things with this property. And I think Councilwoman Neesmith was on the Community Development Committee at that time. And so now we are furthering our plans to continue to partner with our community members this is a call out. Please, if you can, if you are a developer, if you have funding, please contact us. We would love to partner with you so that we could build up our inner city where our infrastructure is. Yes.
I was gonna ask a quick question on that.
A quick question.
And I saw them walk in the room, but could we, and as we kind of move forward, that I know economic development probably has a great idea on where kind of future growth is. And I'm sure, and again, I know we'll talk with them here in a little bit, but I'm sure if we asked them, they'd be more than happy to kind of help bridge that gap and kind of also know where some funding is potentially.
Greg is
I'll
looking
get to that,
like,
Greg.
huh?
But,
Yeah, Greg, we putting you on the spot, right?
I do know that if anything, you'll know some of the projects that are coming, the areas, but also, again, an interesting ways to address incentivizing certain projects like that.
Great.
And again, just having a unique idea on what's coming.
Great, and it is also just great to have you here, our partner with economic development, with the great work that you're doing here. So we do thank you. Thank you, and Stephanie, for all that you're doing. Okay, I think that that will take me to the Finance, Audit, and Budget Committee.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Finance Committee did not meet this month. We took our summer. I think y'all took your break last month. We took ours this month, but we did, as a committee, did receive the financial packet for the month of July, and everything is good. And that will conclude our report.
Next, council, we will have executive session. We will move into executive session for the discussion of the proposal economic development project as indicated in resolution number 2025-26 for discussion regarding appointments to city boards and commission. C, to receive an update on a proposed economic development project. D, to receive an update on a proposed economic development project in the downtown central district, and for personnel matters. What say you?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposes? We are now in executive session.